Well, thank you very much. I mean, for me, I hesitated accepting the invitation because of my physical and mental handicap. But I thought it would be the last time I will envisage a group of people trying to do something positive for the continuation of what has been our dream all the time, that is to make this experiment for the health kingdom. And well, I got the satisfaction, and I thank you very much.
One of the questions that has occurred to me as I have researched and read the materials that Dr. Montessori wrote and spoke of was the source of her thoughts on adolescence, on youth. Did she have an opportunity to observe, or where did her inspiration come from?
Well, just by having children around her, and especially as these children grew, then she realized two things. One was the physical side, that is that at that age one becomes weaker and more prone to illnesses and so on, and therefore she recommended life in the open air. And the other fact was that these children, the pupils, have a great similarity to the first group of life, the 0 to 3, and that they have a great tendency of, first of all, being self-sufficient, externally independent, and that they did the same thing as the 3 to 6 year old, that when you try to help them, they say, when they don't succeed in doing something, they say, well, help me to do it by myself. And that is with the same thing with these grown-up children. They, whatever they see around, they, I don't know, an automobile, a motorcycle, or something like that, if you they try to do it, and they do not succeed. And then either they resist, or if they accept your help, if they only accept your help to show them the technique by which they can function. And that, I think, should be taken very much into consideration. And the fact that they have, if they have been in previous education, non-repressive education, they have a tremendous conviction that they can do big, enormous things. They will try to become reformers in a social thing, for instance, and that they would like to to really help. You know, we had a group of in France, young boys and girls, and they, at a certain moment, soon after lunch, they disappeared. And we said, well, where are you going? And they said, we have adopted old people because they're all alone. And they enjoy so much if one of us goes there and keeps them company and talks to them and so forth. And so each one of us chose one old person to go and help. And they seem to enjoy it, and we enjoy it very much ourselves, because you see all this very depressed and all of a sudden coming back to life and smiling and happy. And that's the tendency of that age. And through that, she got, as I say, the inspiration that something has to be done for they lose interest in everything that was done before, in a sense. And that they try to find a new way towards dealing with the environment, both physical environment, social environment, and moral environment. And that's why she got this tendency to say, she had a plan to say we must do something for these children.
Mr. Montessori, I remember one time in Atlanta some time ago, you talked about the spiritual unfolding of the adolescent and the need for reflection, and told a story about the cocoon and the butterfly. And I'm wondering if you would comment a little bit on this spiritual unfolding in that is not always apparent.
No, that's it, yeah. Yes. It is, as I say, a period just of reflection. Just, in a way, like going back into the womb and achieving development. And in that sense, it's an inner expansion and an inner construction posed towards this help and this. And the judgment also of morality and behavior and so on in the society they are surrounded with. And very often they have the need to be alone. And it made to me the impression of this, that they are just like silkworms who are prepared oneself for a future life, and while they are not formed, nobody takes into consideration because they have nothing in them, it seems. They are they go into an inner transformation which makes them become from a worm a butterfly. And that was the feeling that I had, they still have, very much so. I have a young granddaughter who all of a sudden goes into the garden and she sits on or stands under a tree looking at the sky and with a smile in her face. They asked her, I said, what are you doing there? I said, just thinking. I didn't ask what you think about.
Yes.
Because she says, she couldn't express her thoughts and says, it's not so much thinking, but feeling. Under the sky, with the tree on top of me, and the birds, and they have something inside that makes me happy. That's why I want to be alone, and that's why I want to go there.
Yes.
And that is all I can say about it.
We are very happy that you came to Atlanta to this conference, Mr. Montessori. I know you've been here once before this year in the United States, and it has meant so much to us to have you here witnessing what we've brought together. We know it's a beginning and not the end, but I wonder if you could comment a little bit on the conference proceedings, on the different, not necessarily all that's been said, but just your overall impression of the conference itself, in terms of where we might go, how we might
Where you might go?
move out.
You know.
Yes.
But as far as the conference is concerned, as I say, it has been the prize of an ending life of Montessorianism. To finish here where they started something which will bring the beginning of the realization of something which we want to realize. And I found that there was a great response, and there was a great exactness and of organization, and meticulous to the point, and that the atmosphere was but as far as the lectures themselves, I say I am handicapped by sight and by hearing and by movement. But I could get from time to time a strong impression, and which was, say, a great consolation for me, if I can say that.
Mm.
And I must congratulate both of you for the work that you've done, and I hope you're gratified by the success that you had.
It feels good.
Yes, I hope so too.
Well, we also look forward to continued working with you on this project, Mr. Montessori. We feel that you have a great deal to say to us, never mind the handicaps. And we would like to continue a dialogue that we don't really begin it now. It's been going on, but we would like to continue with that.
Well, that as far as I am concerned, I will certainly do all I can in order to help in any way. And that reminds, I had the example in Dr. Montessori, my mother, who she had a group of people downstairs who came to visit her, and she was old and tired, and she said, no, I would like to have breakfast here. But in the week before, I had been to the house of my brother-in-law, who received a combination of a group of people who came from Ghana. And they wanted to start the government of Ghana.
Yes.
And they wanted to have some what do you call them? Well, the sheep tie up to what you call wharfs, something. And among this group, there were two people who didn't pay any attention to anybody else except, and they asked generally kind of sarcastic or offensive questions.
Mm.
Until they realized that we were, that I was the person who had gone with Dr. Montessori to India. And they realized the fact that we both had been interned, and then they say, oh, then you're also been His Majesty's guest. Because that's what they call us. Say, if they interned us, say, well, after all, there is a war on and things like that, and we treat you very well. You're just like guests of His Majesty. That evidently was something which they did, they say to every intellectual or refuse to collaborate with them. They intern them and ask us, yes, they fed us, and and then they realized that we had been to India, and we have been giving courses and doing things for the children of India. And one of these, as I say, the two persons was the director of education, the future director of education. And so they became to say, well, Kudu is they were surprised that Montessori was still alive. I say, Kudu is here. I say, I don't know, she's not, but I'll find out for you. And they say, but what we would like really to come to do is to ask her and you to come and do for the African children what you have done for the Indian children. So I was telling that to my mother, and she says, what did you answer? I say, yes, I'm quite ready to go any time. So you leave me, eh? I said, never. That's why I say no. And then she said, but why? Why no? See, after all, we have been to India, and Africa isn't very much hotter than India, and why can't I come? I said, well, my goodness, why can't you go? It's up to you. I only think that I feel that you're somewhat, a little bit aged. Now you're 82, and she said, huh. So that means that you want to go alone. I said, never. Shall never leave you. And then she said, all of a sudden, oh, I got a terrific headache. All of a sudden, get me some a towel with cold water so that I can put it on my head. And there was a lavabo in the room, so I went there, opened the faucet with the towel, cold water, and then I brought it there, and she did. She just fell back on the bed, and she was dead. And even then, she was saying the last day of her life. She was planning to go to Africa. And I said, with such an example,
Yes. Yes.
I'll try to do the same thing, not today, but as far as help is concerned, whatever my strength is capable to do, I shall do, certainly.
Yes.
I shall be very grateful to be able to participate somehow to this experiment.
And we are very grateful. I have just one more question, Mr. Montessori, and that is, just in general, I feel that we all have a great deal to learn from you and have learned. And as Sanford mentioned last night, I hope that as some time passes, we are able also to make our contribution back. But I just wonder if you might comment from your position. You've watched this work grow and continue and flourish or not flourish for so many years now. And do you have anything to say to us from that position as we continue this work in general in this country and all over the world?
Well,
I mean, many things, I'm sure, but if you...
We have had many trials in the sense that from in many countries they have dictatorships, and they had war, and they had revolutions, and we passed through several of them. And in the case of the Nazis, they said to us, well, this is the last time Germany hears the name of Montessori. And but the similar things have come before. But there was one certain thing, that no matter how totally the thing was destroyed, after a while it came back again. And that's what I'm telling you. Have faith in the child and have faith in the strength of the child, because it is he who, with this activity and his behavior and his achievements, conquers the heart and the feeling and the reason of the adults. And that will continue. If you give to the children the possibility of really showing what they are, and they have the opportunity to fulfill their potentialities, then it will come. It will be a great triumph and a great transformation, as it has been with the smaller children. That's all I can tell you. Have faith in that, and be sure of yourselves. If you're doing all right, if you're giving to the children the possibility and to fulfill their potentialities, the triumph is sure. And as far as this is concerned, if you can reach me, I will answer you, giving you whatever possibility and experience I have. It's all at your disposal, all of you.
Thank you.
Well, I have to thank you, because you are the ones who are going to do it.